This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Squarespace. So in the next congressional session, Barack Obama is going to fight for the DREAM Act. He said it, and I believe he means it. Now, that's a curious thing because Obama has said many, many times before, I don't have the votes. I don't have the votes. If I don't have the votes, what can I do? There's not 60 votes in the Senate. That's it. I got to give up, right? Or I got to give the Republicans what they want. Now, we know he doesn't have the votes in the DREAM Act because they just voted on it, and they lost.
Well, and there's no conceivable way that his only chance to pass it was with 60 senators.
Right. Now, and of course, now there's going to be many less Democratic senators in the Senate, but much more importantly, they've lost the House. How the hell are they going to get it past the Republican House?
Inconceivable.
Right. So does Obama really believe that he's changed his whole personal philosophy and he's actually going to go and try to get this through the Republican House? My guess is no. My guess is that he's playing politics and that what he's going to do is say, hey, you know what, Latino voters, look at these sons of bitches, man. They're against you. I'm on your side. I'm trying so hard on this DREAM Act, but
so is he going to say it with that very, very small Latino accent?
Oh, did I just have
a little
one?
bit? Yeah.
I don't think so, but he might. You know.
I'm trying to pass it.
And you know, it didn't pass, and I'm so pissed. I'm pissed it didn't pass, man. That would be awesome.
That would be great.
Okay,
yeah.
then he'd have me on his head. Anyway, but you know, I think something interesting might happen in the meanwhile, Ben. I think as he's playing politics with it, and he doesn't really intend to pass, he doesn't believe he can pass it, he might accidentally pass it. Because I think what he's going to discover is that when he starts beating the crap out of the Republicans on the DREAM Act, they have Latinos in their states too. They have Latinos in their districts. There's going to be 2 more new Latino districts in Texas. And so, because of the redistricting and the census, I think that what's going to happen is they're going to be like, oh man, this guy's good. This guy's tough. And maybe he flips him.
Maybe. It's not like that they haven't thought about this. I mean, the Republican pursuit of Latino voters is not new. It's a failure, but it's not new. They don't get beaten on this kind of, at least, forward thinking. I mean, they know the demographics of the country are changing and the fastest growing segment of the population, Latinos. I'm pretty sure that's true.
That's 1,000,000% true.
Right. So I'm trying to understand, first of all, you're using the phrase playing politics that we make fun of all the time. Yes, he's playing politics. He's the president.
He's a politician.
He's trying to get reelected. But what's interesting is that he's free to fight now because there's no chance of victory on these things.
Right.
And
that's really interesting.
So when he fought before on things that might have passed, like if he'd fought as hard as people wanted him to on, say, the public option in doing health care. Well, if he'd lost it, it would have taken, and he might have lost it, we don't know. All we know is he didn't really try for it, right? So that if he'd fought for it and lost, it minimizes the success of the health care bill because then there's this thing that he went out on a limb for and didn't get, and maybe it undermines a big part of who knows? Right,
and that's certainly how he thinks Washington would have perceived it.
Certainly how he would have perceived it, and it's possible that he would have lost some of that Republican support. Was there any Republicans in the Senate or anywhere?
Did that vote for the public option? No.
The health care, I can't remember.
Oh, on health care? No, I don't. They passed it through reconciliation. I don't think they got a single Republican. At some point, Gow in the House, the guy from Louisiana, voted for it.
Right. I think not at the end, though. Can't remember.
Sure,
I feel like it doesn't matter. So he lost, of course.
Of course.
So when you have he doesn't want to fight for things where there'll be an actual fight. Like here, yeah.
Right. That's exactly it. See, that's what I'm getting at. That's a great point. Like if he feels like, oh, I can't win, then okay, then I can do a fight, right?
Then I can fight and I can stand with Latinos and I can say the DREAM Act has to pass. How could these guys do it?
But that goes to that's what
how could these guys vote against it?
Right. That's what I mean by he's playing politics. You're right. Of course, they're politicians. They all play politics. I get that, right? And in fact, as you said off the air to me, to some degree, I want him to play more politics. Right. I want him to bust them up politically so that he can win on the policy grounds. Those are all fair points. I'm just saying that him coming out and saying, oh, I'm going to fight for the DREAM Act is disingenuous. Like he thinks internally, oh, there's no way I can win, right? Do you see what I'm saying by that?
I do, yes, certainly. But it's long term. Everything's long term. First of all, eventually we're going to pass some machination of the DREAM Act. I mean, it's
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
there's-
especially when the country's
Yeah.
majority Latino.
right. President, if it takes President Gutierrez may ultimately make sure we pass the DREAM Act.
New sponsor at the Young Turks, Squarespace. They help you build websites. They've got 24/7 support, and they've built some of the largest websites in the world.
They have an iPhone app, so you can edit your website on the go.
TYT promo code, 10% off for the life of your order. Squarespace.